Hello there, guys. I'm back. Sorry, the boys had just woken up as I said that I was going to um, come back on live, and then they've gone back to sleep for a little bit, which is a bit of a pain in the arse because it means that they're going to be up tonight, so they went to bed a bit later. So anyway, just give a chance for a couple of you to come on. I've been on the phone to the health visitor, and then literally Graham just turned up, who's I'm working with on this film for the sports. So anyway, health visitor rang, had a conversation with the health visitor, and guess what? Kelly wins again. Social services are bowed down and they are leaving me alone again. It's all about understanding the process. It's all about understanding why they do things, how they do it, how to speak to them, how to deal with them. Um, After she rang me back the second time, she then rang the health visitor to start all of her inquiries. My health visitor is amazing. You know, she really gets it. She really, so they have sit there now for the first time in 6 years since I went to Flintshire County Council to have my indicative budget transferred. For the first time, they have said, Kelly, this indicative budget of yours. So maybe we are finally getting somewhere. But that means over 30 social workers have been impacted by the voice of Kelly Gotham today. And more than that, in fact, apparently they are still in their office at the moment, all with their head down, bowing, not quite sure what to do. And apparently the chief executive had been down to speak to them today, because when my name is mentioned, apparently she pops, or he, or I don't know which one it is now, I don't know if it's changed over, but apparently it has popped the head in, because I always copy and paste the chief executive in whenever I deal with things. So anyway, case closed. No investigation. Thank you very much. Over and done with. Saturday, the call was made. Over and done with in 2 days, minus Saturday or Sunday, obviously, because nobody could do anything. So over with what? I got the phone call at 4:30 to say no intervention. So it's how you choose to work with them, mate. It's how you choose to tell them. Like I told him, services is rendered, mate. You run under par. And also, because of my intervention on Josie today, I have literally just completely got them to realise that what they're doing is hindering her, and really opened this. I've dealt with so many social workers today as an aloof. I'm not an official capacity. I fucking love it. This week, so I can actually let you know. I was actually potentially facing eviction and my boys being taken off of me. It's been scary. It's been harsh. I had a feeling social were going to get pulled on me on the same week that I've got notification of eviction. And the mortgage companies rang me today. My person who I'm doing all these films with has just found all of his premium bonds, all of his will stuff. So we're going to Devon to go and sort all this out, where his family pretty much owns the majority of Dartmoor Common. Don't forget, Graham is a Lord Graham Gold. His father was a head barrister. Got to be careful not to get ego intact. Feeling quite cocky at the moment because, yet again, that's another case slammed. Not quite sure what official capacity to come in, but I'm really enjoying kicking ass and helping people get the actual sort of things that, you know, they really, really need and want within these services. And I'm looking forward to doing the fundraiser. It's coming together. I've just been asked whether or not I want somebody else involved. And when this meeting comes in this room, which is going to be really interesting, I've just had somebody, you know, pretty much Boy George basically pretty much asked to come and be the ambassador for this fundraiser. I don't know what's going on with Boy George or where it is, whether he's an appropriate person, but I'm in the middle of the snakes and the roses and the thorns at the moment. Who's good, who's bad, who's corrupt, but it doesn't really matter. Everybody can change from any point in their lives. And one of the things that I've been really battering today, if you watched my live previously, is the fact that they were abusing Josie with the fact that they failed her through foster care, that they allowed for her to be abused in foster care, that they allowed for her to be moved around so many cases. So let's just say this shit ain't going to be getting used against them. And I'm looking forward to getting invited now, because now I am not being pulled under service user. I can now become a service provider. And as I'm going to be here in Portsmouth, I don't know what's happening with Andrew. I haven't had a check on it. I think his battery might have gone. But Andrew's meant to be coming back here today so we can go on and do a watch party to bring this whole course together. He doesn't actually know who I am and what I'm about, which is so interesting and so funny. So I think these two networks coming together is going to be mighty, mighty strong. It's going to bring two very sustained networks, and bang, we're all part of the same thing, because you know, running for Fathers for Justice and things like that when I first started. So anyway, my boys are asleep in bed, and it's a bit early for them to be asleep in bed, which is a bit of a pain, but they didn't go to sleep until 3, only because the social worker woke them up when they would have gone to sleep at 2. So we won't be going over to the park today. I desperately need to get on the phone and ring the girls and let them know that there's going to be no intervention, because they have been devastated and heartbroken about this. And then the social worker said, "Are you going to continue to let the girls help you?" I said, "Yes." She went, I said, "Well, why not?" I said, "What's wrong with them sitting in my flat while I go and sort the laundry down in the thing? What's wrong with them coming to to the park with me? And what's wrong with the girls wanting to be part of my social life and being part of that life, coming to firesides and things like that? It's good. That's what community is about." I said to her, "What law have I broken? You know, how were my children neglected? Did they have an accident? Were they being abused? Were the girls beating them? Did the girls throw them in front of the car? You know, tell me what exactly was the cause of concern." So I said, to me, the fact that these people knew my full name and you were able to ring me on my direct number, then, you know, it has to have been somebody who's very aware of me. And the fact that they could put it on a Saturday, of all days, on a Saturday, talk about trying to fucking trip me up, mate. To make a call on a Saturday to out of hours social care, right, automatically installs the police to come and check up. And on a Saturday, they don't have time. They just do straight bump from bump, and that's it. So the cunt out there that tried to get my kids taken off of me, oh, darling, the karma coming your way. Oh, you're either going to be very ill, you're going to lose your home. Something is coming your way, because the Lord will prevail. When people come with bad intentions, the bad karma comes back. Come with good intentions, good karma. That's pretty much all I've got to say. Watch this space, because tomorrow I will be doing my live. Well, I can't be doing my live because my phone still doesn't work, but I'm going to try and plug my laptop in and sit in the car with my laptop. But tomorrow, Stephen Morgan, I will be seeing his case manager, and we will be now getting him to come in and speak on behalf of the resident of Portsmouth, who just happens to also be everything else that I'm standing for. And I will be seeing the accountant on Thursday, and on Friday I'm going to be seeing the business manager. So hopefully, seriously, I love this stuff. This is when I'm in purpose-driven living. You know, if I was coming back from Tesco's talking about my job at Tesco's, I'd be fucking miserable, ready to slash my wrists, unless I was helping with putting food parcels out. But when I'm, like, seriously, when I come off of talking, what you've got to remember is I don't have a script. Bless Greta, you know, and other people, is they all work off a script. And if you haven't got a script there, they don't know what to say. You can't batter somebody like me. You could put me on a podium in the EU, United Nations, and you could have the press going boom, 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 and I'll go, you know, I talk as a vessel. So when I do the videos and I'll just talk, and the way it comes around, and what, you know, it was so amazing today and how it come together with all of the videos and stuff like that. So the news have been watching it and going through, and I'm looking forward to how the services here in Portsmouth are going to really have a massive big impact. They know I'm staying, they know I'm not going anywhere. I was born here, I was a taken kid here, and it's about time that the services here in Portsmouth, as it's an island, started setting a bit of a precedence, and we stepped up Portsmouth in order to set a whole new standard for every county council around the UK, and really make these people understand that they may have come with good intentions, or tried to come in with good intentions, but the services and system that they work for is flawed. So therefore they are only good as the system that they work for. And at the end of the day, they need to change their system. It's very insulting. It's very degrading. It's very isolating. It actually isolates you. So rather than building a community, it actually isolates you from a community. It even isolates and alienates you within your own family. whether stuff is intentional is one thing, but whether it's just human people who are trying to do the best thing, working with a budget and a system that is just going so wrong, it has to be discussed. It has to be brought up. You know, we had Kerry today that all she wants to do is drop a football kits off to her boys because it's school and they want all of their new football kits. So the good thing is I'm also working with Portsmouth Football Club in the community. So I'm going to go and speak to the guys, and I'm hoping one of the footballers is going to go and drop this bag off. I'm hoping they're going to do it at school, and I hope there's going to be a lovely little note in it that says it's from Mum. But I'm hoping that Portsmouth Football Club is going to actually go and drop these bags off to her kids, and hopefully with the attention that she gets from that, you know, maybe the alienation will stop on her. And I'm also hoping that the father, who's now got to sell his house, that somehow we're going to actually buy it back for him. And hang on 2 seconds. Hello. Hello, how you doing? Oh, it's okay. I'm on live, but as it's you, I can continue on live. We have Andrew from Napa on with us now. It is Andrew, isn't it?
Oh, are you all right?
Yeah, cool. Fantastic. I thought I'd got it wrong then. Yeah, how you doing? Where are you?
I'm back up in Harvard now.
Okie dokie. Well, the boys have just fallen bloody asleep, so it's either a case of get your ass here or I'll have to come and get you, but I don't know if I've got petrol at the moment. And you're welcome to stop here if you want, and get this done, or if you've got a change of plans, let us know. It's up to you.
All right, I'll find out. Kerry's nipped off with Steve a minute to go and grab some food, so I'll see what's happening then.
Oh, well, there's a pizza here if you haven't got anything, but bring them with you if you want. We can have a bit of a minds meeting and get a bit of a, you know, get everybody online and pull all the networks in and get a bit of a watch party going and push. Because guess what's just happened since I've left you?
What?
Oh, I'll tell you the story about going into, you know, the girl's phone that I had.
Yeah.
I knocked on the door at social and handed it in, and then spoke to the socials, introduced myself. Do you know what the social worker asked me?
What?
What's my VAT number? So guess what? I then get another phone call from social who wants to know what my support system is, and then I get another phone call to say case closed. So yeah, let us know. So guys out there on the live.
I thought I'd phone you back because I've been around the Ayman Islands. I just got back from there, so I thought I'd give you a ring anyway. I did message you, but I don't know if you got the message, but I'll give you a ring anyway, right?
Okay, guys. So on live, we've got Andrew. He's been walking. He's had his top off outside the courts today. See, shows everybody all the scars that we bear, hidden scars that people can't see and that they're caused by the system. So I've got my network going on because obviously you don't know my network and I don't know your network. Some of it crosses over. So hopefully tonight we can bring it all together. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no problem.
Brilliant, fantastic. Well, just let us know. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. As long as I know whether I'm throwing a pizza in or, you know, whatever. So, and when you need to, I've got the MP tomorrow and that's about it. So.
Okay.
All right. I shall catch you guys later.
No problem.
All right. You're all welcome. Come in for a coffee. It's fine.
Okay, no problem.
All right. See you in a bit. Bye. Oh, let me know if I need to pick you up though.
Okay, no worries.
All right. Okay. See you in a bit.
All right.
Bye. So that was Andrew from Napa, which is for, I can't remember the initials for Napa. So those guys have just finished the last walk and that's it. It's over. He's literally walked from Essex all the way down here to Portsmouth, gone up to the Hayman Islands, and now he's coming here. We're going to do a brainstorm. We're going to connect with you guys later. I don't really like these watch parties because they disappear. But Amber can grab it and get it on the live. But I like to keep a log on mine because when social come in and check and the police are watching and the media are watching, it needs to go, who am I, what am I about, bang. So hopefully we're going to get you all together and we're going to get these solutions in now because Andrew and I are from two different sides of the courts, but we've all got both different skills and talents as well, that we can cross over information, share information today, and come in on how we can move forward with more tactics, more strategy. I'm hoping that we're going direct action. I hope that we're going to be forming a team now. We're going to be educating in the colleges and universities, but in order to put this message right up there in the forefront, to be supporting families through adversary now, and the fact that the media are really talking about the amount of people that are being abused in care homes. And funny enough, Jenny was moved into a care home today, and Graham's not sure what's going on with him now. So, you know, it's happening on all sides, do you know what I mean? And like I said, you know, whether or not with bad heart, bad hands, or whether it's with, you know, not being funny, yeah. But today, obviously, I've spoken to people who work in the call centre, people who do the signposting, social workers, the receptionists, blah, blah, blah. They're all really lovely people, and they all just got to pay their mortgages and their rent and their TV licence to support the paedophilia network. But we don't know whether it's closed down. Just because Jimmy Savile's dead doesn't mean the other cunts haven't got their hands on the kids. Nobody seems to have turned around and gone, hey, we've saved loads of kids. So that hasn't happened yet. So when that happens, then we know that, you know, we really are clearing up this fucking dirty swamp going on with these bastards. When a social worker says, what's your VAT number? That says to me absolutely everything. What she should have said to me is, what service do you provide? So, forced adoption exposed needs a VAT number. She didn't ask me what my company number was. She asked me what my VAT number is. Just before we go, for those that don't know what VAT is, I know what VAT is, but I can't remember the actual VAT initiation of it. So basically, it's the value added tax. So the value added tax, known in some countries as the good and service tax, is a type of tax that is assessed incrementally, like an income tax. It is based on the increased value of product and how product or services of each stage of production and distribution continue. So basically it's good service tax, excise tax exemption, direct, double taxation, harmony, blah, 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 blah. Fuck you cunts, because I'm going not for profit. Because as long as the place that I am living in is running the services that I need, then everything, be my personal life and my business life, will all be under non-for-profit. We are the people that you really hate that make lots of money and do charity work. But, you know, I want to make a real difference. I want a team of legals, I want a team of Mackenzies, I want a team of advocates, and I basically want to crush this system. I've got somebody on here right now, I'm not going to mention her name at the moment. She's very vulnerable, she's very fragile with what's going on. But it is the lady that first ever kicked me off and is directly responsible for me doing all of this, because she was my best friend when I was 17, 19 to sort of 21. And she was an ex-foster care adopted girl, and obviously I knew her story. And I have always wanted this person to break through, and she has continued to have the abuse going on within the services and children currently taken. And I'm hoping, being here, that she's going to be feeling empowered. She's going to be feeling that a little bit more safer, that I'm not far down the road, and she can ask me for more help than she realises, and that I can get a little bit more involved than she realises. And not just that, you know, it's time to start building that real personality, that absolutely beautiful lady that I know and love, who, you know, can really shine and be something and be someone, and not just what her adoptive parents did to her. So I've always been scared of this system, because I've always understood that adoptive parents do abuse their adoptive children, and foster carers and social workers do abuse their children. Not all of them, but once children are away from their parents and they are not under their wing and in care, anything can happen to those children. Now, obviously, we need this service. Some people need help. Some people need support. Some people need an extra support system because they don't have their own. And some people abuse children. Some people don't intentionally hurt their children. Stupid, you little shut up. And they don't realise that this causes emotional abuse to their trauma, to the child. Telling the child that they're stupid as one of the most abusive things that you could ever do. You may say that their behavior is stupid, but they are not stupid, because otherwise they grow up believing that they're stupid. But that should be able to come through workshops, seminars and events run by social care. You know, do you want to learn how to change a nappy? Go and attend a workshop. You know, you're having a bit of a trouble with your teenager because they've got a bit of a boyfriend. Hey, turn up to this workshop. You know, it should be a voluntary organisation where people can come and offload and say what they need to say without the condemnation and the criticism and the, you know, you can't really say that because it's, oh, that's a black mark against you. We're not interested in black marks. I don't care whether you smoke crack back, whatever, alcoholic, whether or not, you know, your boyfriend's just beating the shit out of you, or you just beating the shit out of your boyfriend. You know, as long as you're not sticking your fingers up your child's bum, which we would have to really deal with, and then obviously I would have to really bring the police on this matter. You know, if you're wanting to feel like you're wanting to kill your kids and you're wanting to rag them around the house, but it's not actually what you're doing, you just feel that way, don't worry about it. We'll feel that way sometimes. I want to dangle my kids off the 17th floor sometimes. I'm sure many parents would love to just, you know, leave their kids on the motorway and bugger off sometimes. It's okay. It's normal to feel this way. It doesn't make us abusers. It makes us humans. We get stressed. We get annoyed. Look how fucking happy I am kicking their asses, because I know there's a baby being saved just because I knocked on the door today. And I know that, you know, we're going to have a network come together that's going to get bigger, harder, faster and stronger. And I also know I'm going to get trolled to heaven and high alpha. I know that I'm going to get more and more people trying to make reports on social against me, but I'm getting even stronger here with social, to the point that when they see a report coming in my name, they're going to go, am I going to end up being the next baby P, because they've had all of these interventions on me, and actually, oh my goodness, we saw all of the signs and she's going to kill the kids. No, hot gold, not in me. All right, sometimes I want to lose my plot and tell them to at the moment, because I'm under so much stress. But I'm under so much stress because I got up this morning knowing full well I was facing an eviction and removal of my children this week. That is the car crash I'm facing. Now we're slightly closing the gap. Now we're trying to slightly pull it in. I'm getting all the content on the second if we auction this off and clear some debt, stuff like that. But ultimately I need an income. I need to work. I need income. I need a lifestyle. I need to buy shoes and, you know, do normal things as well. Go out for a Sunday dinner with my kids and, you know, pay for my son's football games and all of his stuff, and take, you know, skateboarding, and being able to go down on a Monday at the kids' skateboard and hand over a $5 without worrying about it, and take my kids swimming and maybe have to get someone to come with me because I can't do it on my own with 2 kids. Who would blame me? You know, have you ever tried taking 2 little kids swimming? Everybody needs the other parent there. Dean's unblocked me. We have spoken, but he's still sort of saying, denying, you know, the kids need to speak to him. It's still on don't brainwash the kids. I'm not brainwashing the kids. The children are trying to tell you they love you, they miss you, Dean, and they want to know, they want a day, they want to write on the calendar when they see their dad, when they're not. He's on tour until the winter, that's fine. I'm really hoping he's smashing it. I do believe he might have made it to Ibiza. I'm not sure if he's over in Germany, or I'm not sure if he's over in Spain. I know both was coming up. I have seen his intentions, but I got a feeling he's trying to get over to Ibiza, because of course if you're a DJ, that's the only place you can smash it. So I know Defected Records have been over there, and I know Dean does stuff with Defected Records, and prior to having them to deal with social services and having his career, he was with Ninja Tunes. So if I can get all these people around us for this O2 celebration, so we can make all of the money, so rather than people going to social services and going through what they're going through, we'll sit down and work out who you are, how much, what's going to give you your start, basically your kickstart, and help you. You know, help you not just end up in the job centre, in the benefit system, and, you know, in social housing. There's nothing wrong with being in social housing. There's nothing wrong with being on benefits. What's wrong with not knowing who you are, what you stand for, what you're about, what your identity is, what your personality is? And this is what the services is taking away. It's taking away your true identity. It's taking away your true personality. Like I said to them today, next time they've got a parent that's either quite quiet or roaring like a lion, they're going to understand now. Psychology, it's very simple. It's called fight and flight. It's called trauma. It's called being scared. It's called fear. But how many people can walk in and make a social worker understand that right now you feel intimidated, right now you feel scared, right now you feel powerless, right now you feel like you don't have a choice, you can't say what you want to say, you're nervous, you don't know what to do, you don't understand the process, you're a rabbit caught in the fucking headlights with all these people around you that you don't even know. That's like going to bed with a complete and utter stranger and waking up in the morning and going, whoa, you know. And they need to understand this. They need to really learn this. And I can't wait to start going and talking at conferences with training social workers and getting around to the universities to help them understand that when you don't have children experience and you coming in and overstanding on a parent, that you can't do this. You can't be condemning somebody. Like, even with a couple of cases, and I'm not going to mention their names, I know more information than they know because parents share more about what they've done and what they don't do than they will share with a social worker. Straight away, you've got a problem. Today, it was completely pointed out with my baby mama. I don't want to really call her a baby mama, but she's my mum. I love her to bits. I can't wait to hold her little girl. Like, even if it comes, seriously, I want to stay here in Portsmouth just to be here when she has her baby, and I can't wait to hold her in my arms and know that everything that I've been through, everything I've done, all the trolling, everything, all the assassination for having, you know, her partner around me and her around me and the kids and holding ground with her. And obviously I was on the phone to the health visitor and my door knocked and I was a bit, you know, worried, and she said, who do you think it will be? I said, hopefully Graham. And then of course in walks an alcoholic. Hey, could you imagine Jesus being told that he couldn't actually speak to the homeless, the depleted, and all of those people? Missionaries are meant to be helping people like this out. Do you know what I mean? It's not because I think I'm better than anybody else. It's because I've experienced so much pain, so much hurt, so much hell with these services that I've gone through, and I've chosen the education and training that I have done because I ultimately wanted my PhD, and then that way I could stand in court as somebody and go, look, you know, but I don't want to tither around with little individual cases. I want to go for the big guns. I want to go for the big system of it. I want to go for the whole designing of the system of it and hopefully become a consultant for government. That was always my intentions anyway. I want to be the person like Tony Robbins that when our president, actually it's coming, seriously, it's so funny. You do not know what's going on around me. It's so funny. Me and Graham coming together. I mean, we're becoming like best friends. He's an old man and a drunk, but you know, I'm giving him the fingers up the arses joke because he's got to go into hospital soon, and I'm allowed to make an arse of him. Do you know what I mean? But like I said to you, you know, his father taught Boris Johnson at school, and the people who are working with me here in Portsmouth, who owned Lone Star Film Thing, did all Boris Johnson's films. So who knows? Maybe Boris Johnson give me a call and say, hey, what the fuck am I doing? That would be really funny now, would it? Or does that make me grandeur? Because unfortunately, little street rats like us and, you know, people who come from council and stuff can't be the underdog, do you know what I mean? And maybe this one can be. Maybe the teachers always said this one's going to talk for Britain, because actually that was my purpose and plan, to actually speak for the people of Britain. And if I was to speak with them, I'm just saying we're all doing our best. We weren't given a proper rule book. The Bible's great, but it's contaminated. And the Bible is not inconsistent with the new technology fads lives that we have. And it does need updating with trials and tribulations of people of the normal life now. And things do need to be dealt with individually. Every case is different. But my big thing right now is I can't wait for Portsmouth to get a proper family centre, a proper community centre. I cannot stand walking into that centre, be it you go to pay for a ticket or whatever, and seeing very vulnerable families sitting around. You can always see the two officials, the police officers sitting there. They always wear darker clothes. Always, you can tell the difference. They're not in proper uniform, but you can see by the shoes and their boots which one's which. And then all these good to two nothings. So, you know, I'm not happy that these social workers bow their heads when they deal with me. I'm not happy about that. That's not good. Even Graham goes, these people are so scared of you, Kelly. Why is everyone so scared of you? And I don't want people to fear me. I'm not here to bully or intimidate anybody, not even the service providers. I'm just here to stand my ground and say what you're doing is wrong, it's abusive, and you need to recognise the consequences of your actions. It's all well and good that the services say to us that we have to be responsible and be held accountable for the consequences of our actions, but they won't be held responsible for the consequences of their actions. So when I've got a 17-year-old girl who's now being battered because of the amount of moves that she's had through foster care, which was them that kept moving her in the first place, which is not her fault, they kept putting her back and forth, and then she's getting on with her dad and all of that. Nope, the problems with her still being out of that family is still there, so protecting her from all of that. And I've got her to sing in front of the solicitor today. So hopefully Josie is going to be one of my standing acts to come and be as a foster care kid. I'm literally calling all foster care children who have got talents and skills to come along and be our performers and help us raise all of this funds and tell you stories. And I don't know how and quick I can get this together, but I'm constantly working on it. My office is coming together. I'm sitting at my desk with, that's my artwork up there if you want to see it. You want to see my artwork? You want to see one of my pieces of artwork? In fact, I'll show you a couple because you don't really know my personality, do you? So that was one piece that I did, and I was quite emotionally drained. On Saturdays, I get a little bit bored, so I tend to get some bits out. I mean, that was just me just messing around. And I haven't really got the equipment of things, so, you know, these sort of things. Apparently, actual real artists are actually doing this now. So, but if I show you this one, because it's actually, where's the big to it gone? Can I drop it? Is there another one? Actually goes to this up here. Yeah, so just a couple of little polka dot things, but this one actually goes to this up here. So I don't know if you can see it. I've got that up there, and then this is actually a piece that goes with it. So who knows, maybe one day I'll put my stuff up. Maybe somebody might want it on their wall, who knows. Maybe I might be an artist, who knows. But that's just what I do for fun. And also, would you like to see what I'm doing with Jenny soon? So in my bottom drawer here, getting ready for winter, I have a whole drawer of wool in there. And as you know, I'm playing with government over Shakespeare. So this is literally every Shakespeare play and story in this sort of thing. So I can throw quotes. So basically, Shakespeare was about fools, lovers under construction, mothers, fathers and daughters, villains, heroes, strong and difficult women, warriors, peak hour lovers, and then it's like takes the mickey with dogs welcome interchange. So on there it's got like mothers up here, lovers, and then it goes all the way through. So you've got like Helena and Baron, Miranda, Angelo, Romeo and Juliet, Henry VIII had very many wives, he liked to chop and change. So this is part of the how to get a government shit, hence why I keep pushing Shakespeare. What else have I got? Desk is finally coming together. Got my lovely picture with my two boys that I raised prior to Aaron and Faith being taken. Getting all my shit together. So, we have here. So before I go, let me read you this. After Aaron and Faith were taken, My doctor here wrote a letter. So I read you this letter from my GP who sent this to social services. Dear Miss Sweeney, who was the social worker, I've now had the opportunity, this was done May 2016 when I was pulled in with Elijah. I've now had the opportunity to review Miss Cotham's medical notes and spent a long consultation with her, establishing the details of her past medical history. As you know, she's approximately 7 months pregnant and her unborn child is subject to child protection. Miss Cottam has a confirmed diagnosis of Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, because they kept saying it was the easiest condition to claim to have to take Aranafin. This causes a laxity to the soft tissue, including ligaments, which support her joints, but also include structures such as her trachea, windpipe. It is recognized cause of variety of musculoskeletal aches and pains, and in her case was undiagnosed for a considerable period of time. Diagnosis was confirmed by 2 professors of rheumatology and is not in doubt. This gives each of her children a 50 chance of being inherited. She tells me of her oldest son has Ehlers-Danlos syndrome and her second children may well, but is not currently, and tells me, diagnosed. One of the consequences of her EDS is that she may experience a sudden onset of pain caused by changes in positions of her joint. She tells me that prior to her diagnosis, she was frequently a tender of A&E. She believes that one of the reasons she has come into contact with mental health professions in the past is because of her A&E departments have been unable to diagnose her symptoms and had thought there must be psychomatic elements for them. From what she says, and I suspect, listen, I suspect that the anger and frustration she felt at experienced genuine symptoms, but failing to have them recognized as a genuine pathology probably also contributes to the concerns over her mental health at the time. With respect to her pregnancy, I suspect this would have consider a high-risk pregnancy. She's an increased likelihood of experience musculoskeletal pain and has onset of premature labor and also postpartum hemorrhage as previous pregnancies. She is currently under the care of Mr. Gurgis, consultant at Queen Alexandra Hospital. Ms. Cottam explains that the first contact she had with social services was in the contact request for help with management of her children in the event of admission into hospital. She feared there would be a potential that she would need to be in hospital and that the children may need care during this time. She described a series of indications with social services having made that request, which seems to escalate to the point that her 2 youngest children were taken away from her. From her perspective, the clinical picture with respect to her youngest children suggests that they also have EDS, but it doesn't have access to Aranafin notes. And in a way in which she could lift and handle them was modified due to concerns over, for instance, dislocating their shoulder if they were lifted by their arms. She believes that this, in combination with some language she used inadvertently while they were being accessed, was pivotal to the decision to remove her children. To her, it seems that due to the general lack of knowledge about EDS amongst the medical profession, she had been fairly unlabeled with mental health problems, and the way in which she lifted her children was misinterpreted as abuse. Ms. Cottam remains very angry about the removal of her children, but says that she has learnt to forgive those involved. She has been involved in campaigning against forced adoption and also become something of an expert in respect to EDS. She feels that she now manages her symptoms of EDS much better than she's been able to do in the past. But I put it to her that everyone involved in care and that her children would have had the best intentions despite the outcome. She seems to accept that despite her regrets about what happened. Having a long conversation with her, she came across calm, rational, with a good insight into what happened in her life up to this point. She was able to give clear, detailed amount of her medical problem and her interaction with social care up to this point. She was moved to tears recalling the day that her children were taken away, but was unable to continue to construct conversation. She remained understandably fearful that her unborn child may be removed at birth. She accepted the need to work with social services to show that she was able to care for the baby. We await the outcome of the psychiatrist's psychological assessment, but my impression is that she is not suffering from a significant mental illness. I could understand a lot of the feelings of anger and frustration that she's felt on the basis of her life history so far. I hope and expect that social services will be able to support her with the upbringing of her unborn child. I'm concerned that the next meeting is not scheduled to take place until the 19th of July, which she says is only a few days from her expected delivery. Given her previous history of premature labour, I wonder whether it may be sensible to bring this meeting forward, which they didn't do. I had to escape from hospital because it was the next day. And I did. I walked out of hospital. I think it would be virtually important that Miss Cottam's life history thus be considered in content of the delayed diagnosis in her of her EDS in her care, possibly in case of her 2 adopted children. I think an understanding of the difficulties she's faced thus far and the problems continued to experience would be important when it comes to reaching the objective and fair decision. I will leave the practice in the next few days. I will be leaving the practice. I'll tell you why I left in a minute. I'll be leaving the practice in the next few days, so would appreciate it if further correspondence could be directed to my doctor now. She's fully aware of the situation. And that was from Brendan Hayes. So what annoys me about this services is this was done for when I was pregnant with Elijah. They didn't listen. I did keep Elijah. But even though they had that information, they then put me at risk with Shiloh, and I hemorrhaged 4 weeks early and nearly died in my house, literally over the bath with Elijah rubbing my back. And, you know, they caused that. So anyway, I hope some information from that has been helpful for you. I hope maybe you understand now. And the GP, by the way, left. And the reason that he left is because he was divorced. And based on the conversations that we had, he decided he wanted to be closer to his son. And he wanted to make more of an effort with his son. So he left the practice and he went and moved back to be with his son. She's lovely. So, and that's one of the main things that's missing from child protection and team around the child is your GP. So it's really important to get a good relationship with your GP. So anyway, guys, my kids have not woken up. I am expecting Andrew at some point, which is going to be really good. I'm going to have 2 children up on a Monday, which is probably not going to be very helpful with social. But they are asleep. I very much doubt they're going to sleep through the night. If I can get some petrol money, I'm going to hopefully, after I've seen the MP, drive Andrew back to South Wales. If I do that, then obviously we'll be continuing this on the road and stuff like that. If I don't do that, then he'll be making his way back. He's got contact with his kid. So yeah, let's see how this evening goes. So thanks guys for being here. Thanks for listening. I hope it helps you in some way. I hope my message helps you in some way. I hope by seeing how we're dealing with it, the fact that I got my system shut down within what, 3 hours, and it shows that you can do that too. You know, so there's a lot of you going through social right now who didn't need to work with them. You know, so you've ended up being coerced into the situation that you're in. And I hope by the fact that, you know, as much as me and my boys went through what we did through 2 years ago, that it showed you that even though they took my son, I got him back within 5 days. Now, this isn't an experiment. I'm not playing with my kids. My kids are not porn. This is what's happening to me and how I'm dealing with it. I talk very different to the health visitor because I love her dearly. Different social workers who want to trigger me off, I'm a bit aggy with them. So I've asked her to ring the housing person because I told her I'll end up dangling her off the window, you know. So, and I do talk about it. Do talk this way now with them, and they're fine with it. They get it. It's Kelly. She's telling you don't keep pushing her because you're going to push her into, you know, the next uni bomber. Do you know what I mean? She'll send you a really harsh message. You come in and take these boys from her. But there's no tensions. Case closed. All done. So hopefully I'm sliding through this week now, and hopefully everything's sorted. Hope to get a nice new move. Hopefully I'm going to make lots of money out of these films. It's nothing to do with this, so don't tell me you can have my money and I'm making it out of this. No, it's something I'm doing off my own back with the snooker, but it's going to be really working together because it's going to bring some very influential people that are helping me achieve what I need to achieve for me personally. And it's going to mean we're going to have some very influential people out there talking about what's going on. And people really do care, guys. People really do care. They even care about the crackhead and the smackhead that gets the baby taken at birth. Because unfortunately, a lot of the snooker people were cokeheads and crackheads and smackheads and went home to their children. So they don't realise, they realise how lucky they were that they never had social intervention because they had money and they were in the BBC. These are the people that weren't abusing children. So don't forget, hopefully Graham be around again. I think we'll see him tomorrow. I'm going to the MP's office at 2 o'clock tomorrow. I'm going to have to ring Dean, make sure he's still out of the country, because I'm spending a lot of time with men at the moment and he's too insecure for that, which is why we're building our life separately at the moment while insecurity and trust builds. Don't hate what we become, hate what the system did to us. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, guys, I'm going to catch up with you later. I'm going to breathe before the kids wake up. And maybe you're a hidden artist. I don't know whether I can consider myself an artist. Do you consider this art? I don't know, you know. But maybe you can do something like that. Maybe you can even hang it somewhere and ask if someone wants to auction it off and sell it and make some money. Or maybe you knit, or maybe you can talk for Britain too. I'm not the only person that can talk for Britain. It's just that I can talk for Britain. And when they say Britain, they mean I talk a lot. So not quite, as you heard it in here, proven by my doctor. I'm not making this shit up. I'm really not well. And this is my formal diagnosis for Asperger's syndrome. And I think that's just the whole diagnosis. Is that all the diagnosis? Is that what's there? So don't make this shit up, guys. Just be a little bit, make some reasonable adjustments for me. We're asking the system to do it, so individuals need to do it too. So yeah, Kay Cotton, EDS mum, Asperger's, dyslexic, no family support on my own, fragmented relationship, doing my best, working with my grief, overcoming my trauma, but I'm still here. You know, a lot of us have taken their lives. A lot of us have had battles with suicide. I've got a lot to do here. I'm dreading, and actually I wasn't going to tidy up my house because I deliberately wanted a man to walk in the door and see what a house looks like before husbands walk in after women have run around cleaning, and see the reality of what a one-bedroom flat looks like when you've got 2 children. So yeah, let's see what I can do before Andrew gets here. Hopefully they're all coming. It'd be really cool, because the more minds together, the more solutions we can bring, the stronger we get, the more relationships that we build, the more networks that we bring together, the more empowerment of people, the more people who go into their meetings alone who feel that they're not alone. They know that they've just spoken to me before they've gone into their meeting. They know they're going to speak to me when they come out of their meeting. You know, the amount of motion that come out of Josie as she walked out, you know, she literally collapsed in my arms as she walked out their meeting, the raw emotion that was in her. They're not protecting that. They're not catering for that. They're not understanding that. And I'll call her Josie John because she's a bit of a geezer bird. Yeah, I'll go fucking smash her fucking head in. I love her to bits. She's amazing. So we're trying to find just Josie, because Josie's masculine and feminine energy is a bit mixed up. This happens when you become somebody that has to keep protecting yourself, because women become men-like because, you know, they've been bloody raped and beaten. So guys out there, have a little bit of grace for us women. Yeah, men think that they can grab our tits, slap our fucking asses, think that they own us, can jest us, and women who raise these men. It's about time there was a lot of respect between men and women, you know. No, Andrew and I are not shagging each other because I've invited him to be able to stay here. I've got a safe bed. The man has just walked goodness knows how much, so why shouldn't he be able to rest? Just because I'm a female, why shouldn't I be able to offer for a male? Why does that mean that all of a sudden we're going to be having hanky-panky? Fucking hell, Dean would bloody shoot us both. And I'm not that sort of person. So it's about keeping your integrity intact and not allowing the services to take away your joy. I have been absolutely battered. You saw me 2 days ago. The amount of stress that's put on me by having that phone call, because potentially I don't have cameras in my house. Chances are I was going to be in a powerless situation with police who don't know me. This is the problem. They just read paperwork. So now you're going to see the next step, how all my paperwork disappears off their records soon. So my name won't even be there. But the greatest thing now is you watch Portsmouth. You watch Portsmouth. You watch the impact that just Andrew coming here today and me kicking off because I live here. Because the press won't touch it with Andrew because he's not from here. But because I'm here to tailor it in, they can. And I'm going to continue. Because what else do they want me to do? Like, what do you want me to do while I'm sitting on benefits sort of thing? What do you want me to do? Go watch Jerry Mackay or Coronation Street, EastEnders? That's what Graham says to me. He says, I love it. He said, I love how informed you are, but you're not one of these women that watches, you know, all these daytime programs and stuff, yet you're still informed about stuff. Because you can be informed, not inundated. And at the end of the day, these things are a distraction. They're a distraction. They're the distractions that keep you from being your true authentic self. And that's what I want for you all. I just want you all to be your true authentic self, doing what you love, waking up every day. Do you know how kick-ass it was waking up this morning knowing I've got to be down the courts at 10:30 and, you know, bang, let's go. And it just goes to show, guys, it doesn't need mass amounts of people outside courts. It's the power of the video that you do. It's the power of the people who are following and watching. And literally he's walked from court to court to court. But we need straight direct action now. We need to come together properly. One big massive fucking smack. Hold the ground. I don't know how we're going to get everybody there, but at the end of the day, XR are doing it and they're doing it well, and it's exactly the same model. And I know that because the model comes from us anyway. So that's for the planet, whether people believe in it or not. What happens if in all this big conspiracy we all start just working together? And actually, we start thinking about recycling and maybe not dropping our litter and maybe being good to our neighbour and maybe having some form of community. And maybe actually by giving a shit, we can make a difference. So I might come across a bit of a heartless cow sometimes. I can be quite narcissistic. At the end of the day, I'm damaged and traumatised. Why wouldn't I be a bit of a narc? Can be quite narky sometimes. And then I've looked in the reflection and do it with you guys. So before I go, look in the mirror, look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself who you are. Stand in the mirror and look at yourself and tell yourself, I love me. I'm a good person. I do good things. I make a difference. If you can't look in that mirror, then me and you need to be working together. Because if you can't look at yourself in the mirror, it says that you don't love yourself. And if you don't love yourself, you're bringing shit around you because you don't have the self-worth that you need. And the quicker you have self-worth, the quicker you get to live a happy, healthy, thriving life. So on that note, guys, I shall see you later. Bye. And this is this little bit at the end where I have to press all the buttons and I'm still politely here and you go. So anyway, guys, see you later. I love you, really. I'm on such a fucking high, and it's a natural high. It's because purpose-driven living, doing what I love, doing what I'm here to do. And that's